guys, Gather Magic back again, and it's time for part 2 of the Splinterlands Card Market Watch for April 26, 2026. So this is the card deep dive, so let's get started. So starting with Alpha, these are the Alpha Commons. Lowest price Alpha Common currently is 32 cents, the Goblin Shaman. You can see there's only 4 cards on the market. So there are 20 cards in the set. Only 19 of the 20 are listed, so there is one that is missing. The highest price Alpha Common currently is $6 for the Fire Beetle. So there are your Alpha Commons. Moving to the rares, rares have moved above $1, so now the cheapest rare is $1.20 for the Clay Golem. You can see here there are only 16 of the 20 rares listed for sale. Most expensive currently is Ulrich Stormbringer at $4. Next we have the epics, so we have 9 of the 10 epics for sale. $6 for the Dark Enchantress, up to $17.85 for the Fire Demon. And then finally the legendary cards, which have really moved up in price. I mean, months ago you could get like an Alpha legendary card for right around $20, $25. Cheapest currently is Lord of Darkness at $51, and this is for a single copy, and then another single copy for $52, a max level copy for $504. So the Alpha Legendaries have really dried up off the market. As you can see here, there's only anywhere from 1 to 3 copies of any of these on the market. Okay, moving on to the common gold cards, and this is what I mentioned in part 1. So someone has listed an almost complete set. So 18 of the 20 commons are listed for $13.99 a piece. So if you are a collector and you are a gold foil collector, shout out to Gold Matters, and you are interested in some original Alpha Golds, $13.99 is a fantastic price for a common, because there's not very many of these on the market. And let's see how many are in circulation. Just over 300, I believe, of most of these on the marketplace. Yep, 350. So very limited, even being a common card. Don't know if you guys know this or not, but when you open Alpha packs, you cannot use gold potions. You cannot use alchemy potions to double your chance. So that is another reason why these cards are extremely hard to get. So these are your Alpha common cards. Beautiful cards. Next, the rares. So the rares, once again, there are 20 rares in the set. We only have 16 of the 20 even listed on the market. Most of these are just 1, 2 copies, it looks like. So very limited, starting at $38.88. Next we have the epics. So 5 epics here, ranging from $250 up to $400. And then finally your gold legendaries. 3 available for sale, all for $888. Only 1 copy of each of these. There's 2 copies of this. It looks like Crypto Eater is the one selling them for $888. So that is it for your Alpha Commons for the base set. Or your gold cards, I should say. Now your promo cards. Just look at the regular foils. We went through the prices in part 1, but just so you guys can see how many are currently on the market. So you've got the Dragon Whelp, the common card for $283. Nebseni, the rare, for $16.89. Only a single copy of the Royal Dragon Archer, the epic, for $100. And 2 copies of Shinlo, cheapest is $220. And then for the golds, you have the common card for $24 and Shinlo Legendary for $9.99. Okay, let's move to beta, the common and reward cards, starting at 4 cents. Moving all the way up to most expensive common currently is Crustacean King at 31 cents. You can see a small amount of each of these on the market. If you're interested in max level copies, let's see how many max level commons. So it looks like around $19, $20 is the floor for a max level beta common. All the way up to $100 for Crustacean King, but once again, only 1 or 2 max copies of any of these commons right now on the market. Moving to the rares. Rares, you now start at 19, 20 cents. All the way up to $2.25 for Cyclops. Then your beta rares. Let's see how many max copies there are here. So you're looking at 21. So $21 for a max beta card, a rare. And you can see not very many for sale, but here are some max archons for right around 40 bucks. Okay, next let's check out epics. Epics start at 62 cents are the cheapest. Up to $4.92 for the Naga Warrior. And if anyone is interested in max copies, there's probably not a whole lot. Yeah, 1 or 2 copies of most of these. Up to $99 for Mischievous Mermaid. And then finally, let's take a look at the legendary cards, starting at $3.40 for the Fallen Spectre, up to $80 for Voldemort. Is this a single copy? Yes, a single copy for $80, but you can get a max level copy for about $21 a card, about $230. So those are your legendary cards. Okay, now let's check out the gold foil versions. So your gold foil commons, $2.15 to $2.38 are the 2 cheapest. $20.79 for the Undead Minotaur. Moving to the gold rares for beta, now you're looking at about $8.50, $9 are the cheapest here. All the way up to $86.80 for the Clay Golem. Your gold epics start at $35 for Defender of Truth, and then from there it jumps all the way to $54 for the next cheapest, Talia Firestorm. As you can see here, there's only 8 gold epics even for sale on the market. And then finally your gold legendary cards, another very short list. $200 for Korjak, up to $2,000 for the Fallen Spectre. In the Fallen Spectre, there's only 53 in circulation. Alright. So that is it for Corn Reward. Let's look at the promo cards now. So went through these in part 1. So these are your regular foil promos. The common card, Delwyn Dragon Scale, the Archon, 32 cents. The rare, the Bowman, 25 cents. Epic, Fiendish Harpy, $1.94. Red Dragon, 4 copies on the market, starting at 54. Archmage Arius, I mentioned this in part 1, very low price for what this card usually commands. $450 to $500 is the low end. I've seen it as high as $9.99. Same thing with Prince Julian, kind of on the low end of where it usually is at $450. How many are there of these? So there's only 83 Prince Julians in circulation and only 87 Archmage Arius. And then the gold foil versions, the only one available is Delwyn for $5.82 for a single copy. All right, so that's it for your promos. Now let's move on to Orb. So your Orb commons, I mentioned this in part 1. If you can get a good deal like 3.5 cents on one of these and you buy it, you're looking at about 61 DEC. If you wanted to burn this card for Cinder, you're looking at 45 Cinder, which is pretty good because a normal like Chaos Legion common, you're going to get 7.5. So you're getting 6 times the Cinder. So yeah, if you can get these cards 3-4 cents, I think that's a good deal. So this is a good Cinder target for you guys right here if you're looking to build that up for land cards or future use for Cinder. It's a good spot to look other than just, you know, the obvious Chaos Legion. All right, moving on to the rares. Now your rares are 18 to 24 cents. I'm just kind of curious. So 18 cents would be 322 DEC, or it would be 180 silver Cinder. And what is it, 187.5 you need for a card. So this almost gets you 1 card for 18 cents. So those are your rares. Your epics, you're looking at 69 cents for the Dwarven Wizard, 111 for the Mermaid Healer, And then finally your 3 legendaries, $3.99 for Corrupted Pegasus, $5.30 for the Lord of Fire, and $6.63 for the Minotaur Warlord. And look how small the list is for the golds. So all 4 common golds are available. All 3 of the rares. Only 1 epic for $950. And no gold legendaries for Orb. Okay, so that's it for that. Untamed core and reward. So commons, of course, starting at a penny, and then these commons, if you buy them, you're going to look at about 18 DEC, but these will give you twice the cinder as a Chaos Legion card because they are from Untamed. So like Undead Rex, since I have one of these, I could show you. If you went to burn it, you're looking at 15 cinder instead of 7.5. So if you can get these cards for around a penny, it's another good place to find cinder. So 1 cent is the floor, all the way up to, look at this, 11.15 for Albatross. And that is for a level 8. So there are no individual copies for sale. Individual copies look like they'd go 2 to 3 cents, which is about right. So that's the only reason that card is that expensive. There's just currently no individual copies. Moving to the rares. Rares, 4, 5, 6 cents is the floor. All the way to $1.59 for Bortus. How many archons are there? So these are the archons currently for sale. So 9 cents to 20 cents for most of these, and small amounts available. Okay, next are the epics, starting at 17 cents. Moving up to 69 cents for the chief. And then finally your legendary cards. Look at this, an Untamed Legendary for 99 cents. All the way up to some of the key cards we went through in part 1. See if anything's changed in the last couple hours. Doesn't look like it. Kron is still $8. Llama $18.80. Jotun $35, and Kitty $42.90. That is for an individual copy. Another copy for $44.55, and then max level copies for about $4.69. So still just over $42 a copy. So not very many kitties out there. Okay, moving on to the golds. So now your gold common cards starting at 48 cents. All the way to $8.52 for the herbalist. Your gold rares start at $2.16 for the soldier, $2.29 for temple priest. Most expensive, $13.86 for the unicorn mustang. And one thing I find interesting about this is some of the cheapest of the gold rares are actually the archons. So you can get 3 gold archons under $3. So once again, if you're looking for cards for gold guild brawls or survival, if you just need, an archon to throw in there to submit a team, under $3 I think is a pretty good price. Actually, any of these, but specifically those 3. A dragon archon for under $3 is very nice. Okay, epics are next. So only 1 epic under $10. So the light elemental is currently $9.90. Then it jumps up to $11.30. Most expensive is the chief at $91.57. Of course, you're getting more pricey as you get into the higher rarities. And then finally, your gold legendaries, $55 for Dark Han, up to $8.69 for Jotun. You'll notice there is no llama and there is no kitty, but there is a Kron, and I still think this is a good price, $89 for a gold Kron. All right, let's move to the promo cards. So your regular foil promos, 50 cents for the Halfling Alchemist, $6.67 for Chain Golem, and $184.83 for Mighty Dricken. And then the gold versions available, the Alchemist for $99 and the Chain Golem for $99.99. Okay, let's go to dice. So 1 cent to 20 cent for your commons. How much do you get for... Okay, so if you wanted to buy one of these, 21 DEC, but if you were to burn one, see, this is only 15 cinder as opposed to 45 from what was it, Orb. So yep, Orb is the place to go for commons if you can get them at a good price for cinder. Your rares, now you're looking 8 to 79 cents. Your epics, 21 cents to $1 for Grenadier. And then finally your legendary cards, $1.81 to $12 for Epona. And Crowless bounces around so much. Now it's under $8. Sometimes it's like 15, sometimes it's 7 or 8. That card is all over. All right, gold commons, 59 cents to $1. Gold rares, which are your archons. Look at this. Once again, if you can get a couple of these, like, you know, Ouster is a decent summoner with that Magic Reflect. To get him for just over $3, you know, if I had a little bit of DEC, I would definitely pick him up. You can see I've got a copy of Vera. Will not tell you how much I bought that for back in the day. It was way more than $364. Lorna Shine, and then I'm happy to get a Mylor. I've got him. He's up to 30 now. Your epics, $13.90 to $20, and then finally your gold legendaries. Cthulhu, this is the cheapest. Wait a minute, 79 circulation. There was 78 yesterday. So how did this go from 78 to 79? Oh, that's right. Somebody opened one yesterday live on their stream. I think Buns actually pulled out of 2 packs a gold Cthulhu. So grats to Buns, and he is not selling it. This is another seller for $60. So yep, the circulating supply. Thanks, Buns. You raised the circulating supply from 78 to 79. So grats on that awesome pull. You can see here, these are the only gold legendaries for sale, $60 to $200. All right, so that's Untamed. So now everyone's favorite. Let's look at Chaos Legion Core and Reward. No real surprise here. 1 cent for about every card. Look at that. Sometimes we have a couple of these that are 2 cents. Nope, they are all 1 cent. For your commons, your rares, of course, start at 2. They move all the way to 11 cents for Obsidian and Kelia. Your epics, yeah, 8 cents is the floor, up to 18 cents for Grund. And then finally your legendary cards. Look at this, guys. If you can get, I think if you can get any of these, especially these at 35 cents to burn them for cinder, you know, 627 DEC, and these turn into, what is it? I believe 750 cinder. So definitely, if you're looking for cinder, pick up some of these under 40 cent legendary cards from Chaos Legion. So there's a decent amount of them out there. So your legendaries go all the way to $2.59 for Immortalis. So some of these have drifted lower. So the Chaos Pack prices have gone up to 45-50 cents, but the individual cards are moving lower. Then, of course, everyone's favorite gold cards. So gold cards have dropped down to 13-14 cents, where usually they're 16 to 17. Most expensive currently is 45 cents a supply runner. Let's see how many max copies there are. So right around $5. Oh, look at that. I'm not going to say what that is, but that is a beautiful card for under $5. Max level common. Yes, a very good supply of these under $7. So if you guys are still looking to build up your land, you know, there are a few of each of these out there and at good prices, you know, between $5 and $7. Just about all the splinters are represented. Let's move on to the rares. So rares are down to 59-60 cents a piece. Most expensive is currently Seedsmith at $1.71. Then once again, let's check how many max copies there are. Okay, 13. Remember when this was like 17, 18 was the floor? Now we're down to under one card at least, under $14. and a good amount under 17. So 17 bucks or less, I think this will probably represent about every splinter that you need. Yep. So 14 to 17 bucks could get you a max gold rare. And then my favorite rarity, the epics. Look at this. Look at these beautiful cards under 3 bucks. Oh, I need to get more DEC. I need more of these cards for land, and this is a great price. You guys know, you followed the channel. 350 to 5 has been kind of the standard price for these things for months, and now 350 is the max. So if you haven't got them yet, like I keep saying, this is a great time to buy. This is a buyer's market for Chaos Gold cards. And yes, we do have to look at how many max level copies. Look at this, max level copies under 30 bucks for a few of them. Up to 40. So 30 to 40 or 28 to 40 is the range, but the bad thing is there's only 1 or 2 of basically all of these, except for there's 3 Infernis and there's 4 Chihuahuas. So yeah, not many out there, but a good deal for those who need one. And then finally, your gold legendary cards. The floor is down to $21. All the way to $100 for Conqueror Yasik. And what are we looking at? Max levels were right around 100. Yep, they're still holding right around 100. So you've got Jin Bilka for 95, and everything else is 103 plus, up to 199. But you can see a very short list, and most of these are just 1 or 2 max copies. All right, that's always my favorite part of the Market Watch, is just checking out the gold prices for Chaos Legion. Okay, so let's go to the Soulbound reward cards. So your commons are 5 to 12 cents. Your rares 27 to 12.40, because this is the only one. Wow, for an individual copy, 12.40. I thought this was like a higher level one. Mike 1980. All right. Epics, there's only 5 listed, 95 cents to 6.45, and the legendaries, 10 of the 12 are listed, 5.95 to 163.33. This better not be for an individual copy. Nope, that's for max card. All right, let's look at the gold commons next. $1 to 6.90. Your gold rares, see how this list is short. There's 4 not even listed for sale. $3.43 to $75. Gold epics, there's only 2, the water and fire splinter, for $14.90 a piece. And gold legendaries, there's only 3. $95 for Avis, $3.50 for Barracks, and $9.90 for Kulu. How many of these were unbound? So there's only 22 unbound Kulu. So there's only 22 that are even available to be put on the market out of over 1,900. What about Avis? 24 unbound, just under 1,800 in circulation. So if you see one of these things and you need it, you better grab it, because odds are you're never going to see one again. Okay, so that's it for the reward. Let's go to the promo cards, regular foil. Went through these prices in part 1. Want to see if anything has changed in the last couple hours. Looks like the prices are the same. Waka's slightly different. He was 20 something. He wasn't exactly 27 when I did part 1, but still a great deal for a max Archon, 27 bucks. You can see recently he's been in the 30s, so good chance to, or good time to pick one up under 30 bucks if you guys are interested in that card. And Lux Vega is 118 and higher. And then, of course, for the gold cards, no Lux Vega, no Waka. Went through these prices in part 1. It looks like they are still about the same. All right, let's go to Rift Watchers. Rift Watcher commons are all a penny, except for Ash Mirage at 5 cents. Your rares are 3 to 7 cents. Your epics, which are your archons, 13 cents to 41 cents for Fernheart. And then finally your legendary cards are 65 cents up to Inevitable at $71. And that is that for an individual copy? Yes, so for some reason there's a bunch of individual copies for 71, but you can get a max level copy for just under 146 bucks, or about $13 a copy. So this is a more realistic price, right around $13 to $15 a card. So definitely don't pay 71. Okay, and then your gold commons start at 14 cents up to $1.23. Gold rares 61 cents to $2.94. Your epics for the archons 350 to $9.95. And finally your gold legendary cards from Rift Watchers $24.99 up to $200 for Ancient Redwood. And good, inevitable. Wasn't this like in the 40s, guys, a month ago, a few weeks ago? And I'm like, that's way too cheap. Okay, now it's more properly priced at 150. So not sure if somebody bought it and they're just reselling it higher, but yeah, that card was definitely a buy when it was in the $30-$40 range. Okay, so that's it for Rift Watchers. Let's just go right up the list. Let's go to Foundations, just the regular Foundation cards. You guys know these are all pennies, basically. There's not very many that have any value other than the Archons and the Legendaries, and even them are pretty cheap. So your highest price card currently is 30 cents for the Scale Weaver, 13 cents for the Musketeer. That's for your regular foil. For your gold foil cards, even some of the gold foils are just a penny. All the way up to, once you start getting in the epics and legendaries, now you're getting close to $1, a little over $1. $3.90 for the Scale Weaver is the most expensive gold card. Let's go at black foil. So your black foil cards start at $2.30 for Frontier. And the most expensive black foil, like, look at this. This to me seems like a steal. $8 for a level 4 Archon. You can play that in Modern. Yeah, okay, wait a minute. Let's take a look at the Archons. Too cheap, too cheap. These are about right, and that's too high. Yep. So there's a couple good deals right there. So those are the black foil. Let's take a look at what's the most expensive black foil currently. One of the legendaries at $3.33. And then your gold variant, your gold arcane, $3, really? Wow, $3 for gold arcane. I know it's capped at silver, but still, those things are tough to get. Up to 60 for the Musketeer. And then finally, your black arcane start at just over $10 to $4.40 for the Spinetail Fiend. Beautiful cards. All right. So next are the jackpot cards. So for the common, Whisperwind, regular foil is 9 cents, gold 160, and black foil, max level at level 5, $36.90. The rare, the Thief, 37 cents for regular foil, $2.44 for gold, 15 for a gold arcane. Now this is kind of confusing to me. So this is limited to 25, and it's $15 for the cheapest. This one is at least 40, maybe 50. And then this one they're asking 85. So I think this is way overpriced and this is a little bit underpriced. I would put this maybe at 20-ish. Epics, the only two available, common for 35 and the gold for $7.95. And then your legendary, there's only two available. Oh, I thought there was one earlier, must have sold. $5.55 for the regular foil and $30 for the gold foil. So that is it for your foundations. Okay, Rebellion. Let's just look at core Rebellion cards. So of course 1 cent for the commons, up to your dual Archon, 26 cents. Your rares start at 4 cents. Up to 58 cents for Avena of the Wolf. Your epics, 20 cents for Executioner Kron. Up to $1.50 for the Scion. And then finally your legendaries start at, look at this, some under $1, 84 cents. up to Kitty is at 30. We went through the key cards in part 1, so you can see here how many are currently on the market. All right, let's go back to gold. So gold commons for Rebellion start at 21 cents up to 4.15. Rare starting at 55 cents for gold, then it jumps to 64 cents. Most expensive currently is the Soothsayer at $13.50. It's probably more than most of the epics. Yep. 323 to 625 is more than any of the epics. And then finally your gold legendary cards, $18. All the way up to $155 for Lorcus. And once again, these things are so limited. There's just over or right around 100 of each of these gold foil legendaries from Rebellion. Look at this, only 91 Tofus in existence. How many Nidhoggers? 101. So yeah, anybody that has any of these cards, you have an ultra limited card for a gold legendary. Okay, so that's it for the core set. Let's look now at the reward cards for Rebellion. Starting with commons. So your commons are 4 to 12 cents. Your rares are 12 cents to 40 cents for Commander Slade. Your epics, $1 up to, oh, look at that beautiful card, $1.75 for the Weaver. And your legendaries, $4.99 up to $10. Okay, and the gold cards, there's one missing for a common, not even on the market. 84 cents to $2.90. Your gold rare reward cards, $2.50 to $7.28. Commander Slade, $4.45. Your epics, $17.28 to $36. And there are no gold legendaries. So that is it for the reward cards. For the promo cards, we went through these all in part 1. Here's the common Mana Warden. Oh, he's down to 18 cents. I think it was 28 earlier. Somebody list a few? Yep, so there's 3 cards there under 28 cents. So that is the common promo. Here are all the rares. So those are your rare promos from Rebellion. And your legendaries. So Ulfka is down to 250. Mantaroth is down to 11. But the gold foils are still holding their value, especially Mantaroth at 300 and Eleanor at basically 500. How many golds are there of these? 111 Mantaroths. In Eleanor, there's only 32. Okay, that's why it's $500. Okay, so that's it for Rebellion. Finally, we're in the last tab, guys. We're almost there. So let's start, of course, with Core Conclave Arcana. We'll start with the common cards, regular foil. Of course, starting at a penny, all the way up to 10 cents. I still need to work on leveling my gold commons from Conclave Arcana. The rares, 4 cents. Up to, how are the archons doing? So the archons are now 36 cents to 94. So we finally come down under $1. Your epics, 13 cents to $1.40. And then your legendaries start at $1.16 up to $11.25 for Captain Frankie. Oh, also, all channel members that are watching this, let me know in the comments for next month, for May, for the kind of jackpot prize for members. I'm going to be adding a legendary archon. Let me know in the comments which of these you would like me to add, and I'll just kind of go by the poll and see what's the most desired archon. So I will get one of these, we'll put it on the wheel, do the spin, you guys know the drill, And one of the channel members next month will walk out with a legendary archon. If you'd like to become a channel member, just check out the comments, the comment section, and I will leave a link in the description. Okay, so that's for the legendaries. Let's go now to the gold cards. So your gold commons start at 15 cents, all the way up to $1.30. Your rares starting at 63, all the way up to $8.13. Let's take a look at the archons here. So the archons, of course, are the most expensive, $6.41 to $8.13, which is a lot better when they were a few months ago when these things were all like 12 to 20 bucks. Epics, $2.72 for Ferris Brewer, up to $4.31 for Lucky Longshot. And then finally your gold legendaries starting at $16. All the way up to the most expensive currently is Han V at $100. Okay, so that's the gold. Let's check out the black foil version of commons starting at $28.40. Up to $195 for Buttercup Mauler. Supplies Blaze hasn't bought them all. Why is there any on the market? Rare starting at $148, up to $235 for Kalia. Epics $325 to $400. And then finally your legendary cards, there are a few, $600 up to $800 for Jicarilla the Rhyme. Okay, now let's look at the Gold Arcane. This is it for Gold Arcane. These are the only ones available for sale, ranging from $10.97 up to $39.99. This seems way too low for an arcane. There's only 50 of those things. So you could either buy an alchemy pack and hope to get one, or just buy one for basically the same price. I would rather just buy one and be guaranteed to get one. Rares start at 25 up to $199.99. Gold Arcane Epics, there's only one, Blazebeard for $59. And Legendaries, there are three, $109, $260, and $500 for Han V. And then finally your gold, or your black arcane. That's it for commons, guys. Only four for sale, $65 to $125. Only one rare, Happy Kyoka for $249. Epic Songale for $549.99. And look at this, there is a one of one Zerk for $1,975. Okay, so that's it for core. Let's see, let's do the promo cards next. So once again, we went through the promos in part one, just so you guys can see how many are currently on the market. So these are the regular foil of all the promo cards. Most expensive is Dargadam at $19.50. For the golds, $1.65 for the pickle, up to $300 for Yabanus. Black foil, the only ones available are Pickle for $2.79 and Doldrus for $3.33. For Gold Arcane, Cloveria for $1.95, Doldrus for $200, Greyhammer Painsmith for $3.99, Pickle for $9.50, and a Gold Arcane Yabanus for $1,200. Black Arcane Doldrus for $5.45, Black Arcane Cloveria for $8.49. That's it for promo. Extra. So let's do extra. Now let's do reward, and then we'll go over to extra. So your common reward cards, 1 to 2 cents. 6 to 11 cents for the rares. 29 cents to $1.05 for the epics. And then $2.09 to $5 for the legendaries. For the gold versions, 17 cents to 26 cents for the commons. 33 cents to $1.92 for the rares. Epics, $1.24 to $8.95. And gold legendaries $13.50 up to $28.99. Okay, now let's move on to the black foil, which are max level, $13 to $30 for the commons, $24 to $150 for the rare, epics $49 to $125, and legendaries $90 to $323. Okay, arcanes. Yeah, like I said in part one, $8 for an arcane. Wow. $8 to $41.98. Your rares $10.99 to $55. Epics $39 to $1,000. And then finally your gold arcane legendaries $70 up to $152. Okay, and then your black arcane commons $30 to $59.99. Rares $39 to $200. Epics $150. There's only one. And legendary, there's only one of this card. It is a 1 of 1 Syrah for $899.99. So that is it for the reward. Okay, let's do the extra now. Let's look at regular foil. So the common cards. So you've got Dusk Rose for 12 cents, the Blacksmith and the Hunter, the two land cards, 12 cents and 15. The Hellion, I believe this is for, I think this is a survival mode. I need to add this card. I don't think I added this one specifically to the Market Watch, so we're going to have to remember to go back and add this card. So 30 cents, and then Luckiest Long Shot, 12 cents. And let's see, is there any other versions? So gold Dusk Rose for $1.20, and I don't think there's any other versions. Nope. Okay, for your rares, these are all the ones that are available. 13 cents for your Runekeeper, $3.90 for the gold, $170 for the black foil, and $199.99 for the gold arcane. 19 cents for Arena Fanatic, $4.95 for the gold version, and then the beaver is 24 cents, $8.25 for a gold, $2.99 for gold arcane, and $2.54 for a black arcane. A little bit cheaper there. And your epic card, $1.49 for the regular foil, $19.42 for the gold, and then $1,089 for the black arcane. And then Grix, the legendary, the only one available is the regular foil for $24. Okay, finally, I think this is it. Escalation. So Escalation, 1 to 9 cents for your common cards. And as you can see, plenty of them on the market. And then your rare cards go from 3 cents to 14. Your epics, 23 cents to $1.55. And your legendaries, $1.70 to $3.75. So very affordable legendary cards. Then your gold start at 25 cents to $1.49 for the commons. 98 cents to $1.73 for the rares. $6.50 to $19.66 for the epics. And then your gold legendaries are $41.99 up to $95. All right, now let's look at the black foil cards. So for the commons, 59 to $138.99. The rares, $159.99 to $280. Your epics, there's only one for $900. And then finally your legendary cards, 4 of them are available, $799, $1,400, and $1,500 a piece. All right, so now finally for the arcanes, the gold arcanes to start. Gold arcane commons start at $19.95 up to $79.35. Your rares, $45 to $125. Your epics, snippet for $149 and $178 for Vixtali. And then finally legendary, you've got $249.99 and $349. Okay, and then the last foil variant to check, the black arcane commons, $75 to $198. $244.99 to $499 for the rares. No epics currently, and no legendaries. So that is it, guys. I think I made it through the entire market. Don't think I missed anything. And that is it. So that is the Market Watch Part 2 for April 26, 2026. So this is our timestamp, so we can look back, months and years from now and see what prices we're at, how many were on the market, and what the trends were. So if you like the content and would like to support the channel, once again, you can do so. Link is in the description for the Buy Me a Coffee / Gathering the Magic. $2 and $4 tiers help support the channel and be part of the monthly legendary card giveaways and your own personalized Splinterlands video if you are a silver member. So thank you so much for all the support. Look forward to next week's Market Watch. We'll be on land. So until then, stay the course, keep on forging, and have fun. Take care.